Hey everybody, happy Monday. We're gonna do some mobility work today. I've gotten a lot of requests for hip drills and upper body drills for golf. So hopefully we're gonna incorporate a couple upper body things, but a lot of hip mobility. I think that's one thing that is undervalued in golf is hip mobility. Everybody worries about their upper body, but usually that's pretty good. If you need to unround your shoulders, that is a different thing entirely. We will focus on that another day. But we're gonna start with an upper body drill. You've all done this before, most likely, and I know that you have because I have did it in my videos. So if you've done these videos before, you've done it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay on your back and bring your knee up. You're gonna pull it across your body. Okay, so this is one arm. Okay, next you're gonna reach forward with this other arm so your back's nice and flat. And then you're just gonna open up your arm, inhale. Once you hit a restriction, exhale, come forward again. Try to keep the shoulders out of the ears. Very tempting to like kind of turtle here. Keep your head up nice and tall, keep your spine long. And we're not just holding the stretch, right? This is designed to be a warm-up for golf. You don't want to stretch the tissues out too much because studies show that as you stretch and increase the duration of the stretch, you can actually result in a loss of power through the muscle tissue. So we want to avoid that, especially when you're about to go crack some balls on the range, right? So after you do your book openers, each side, I just showed you my right side, please do each side. So do 10 and 10, 6 and 6, 12 and 12, 15 and 15. Whatever you do on one side, do on the other side, right? Even though you only swing with your left hand or follow through with your left hand, make sure you're stretching both sides and warming up both sides, okay? After that, we're gonna go into 90-90 hip mobility. So this one is pretty tough for a lot of people and it's understandably so. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick a focal point. I'm gonna go for the fridge over there. You can't see it because it's off the camera. So I'm gonna point my knee at that fridge, okay? So from here, I'm gonna make a 90-degree angle in my knee, okay? So if the knee's pointing to the fridge, the foot is pointing to that wall, making a 90-degree angle. Then from there, I'm gonna take that 90-degree angle, I'm gonna make a 90-degree angle over here. So now my femurs are making a 90-degree angle, my thighs, right? And then there's another 90-degree angle over here, right? So now my knee's pointing this way, and my hip is kind of pointing over towards the fridge. So once I'm in my 90-90 position, I'm gonna dig my heels into the floor, putting pressure into the floor through my heels. I'm gonna keep my chest nice and upright. If you need a little bit of upward boost, you can reach forward and up, right? So I like to reach up towards the ceiling, dig into the ground, and then turn all the way over. Now when you're done, you should end up in a similar, maybe not exactly the same, a similar 90-90. Okay, so 90 here, and then 90 between the thighs. All right, so I feel this stretch after just moving through that once. I'm feeling a huge stretch on my inner thigh, but because I'm about to go hit some golf balls, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to work through this full range of motion, and you can keep going there, right? You can just keep going. Go 5 reps on each side, 6 reps on each side, 7 reps. It's up to you. Just make sure you're keeping it nice and even, keeping it flowing. After your warm-up, you should feel invigorated. You should feel ready to go. You should feel ready to play. The goal is not that you're necessarily feeling like super zen and relaxed. That's a plus, but you may be stretching and getting ready for a nap. No, I'm just kidding. So after that, we're gonna go into the world's greatest stretch with a hip restriction, okay? It sounds bad, it's really not. So you're gonna get into this position here, okay? So you're gonna lunge 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Okay, so from here, you can incorporate some upper body rotation, reaching up towards the sky, dropping that elbow down, reaching up, dropping the elbow down. Good. You can also bounce the hip up and down, so just slightly elevate the hip, slightly lower the hip. Notice I'm pushing my knee forward as I'm doing that, right? I'm not just twisting around my hips, I'm dropping my knee down, right? So if I want to do that, I can also get into this position and move my knee back and forth, right? So I'm going to change the position a little bit so you can see that a little bit better. So let's say I'm here. Let's say I'm stretching out this way. I'm I'm gonna do the same thing on both sides, right? Because that's what we're doing, we're staying symmetrical. I'm gonna drop this side down, pick this side up, drop this side down, pick it up, go through that full range of motion a couple times. Don't be afraid to really reach with that elbow and really extend with that hand. So after that, I'm going to bounce the hips up and down a little bit. So I'm gonna drop the hip and pick it up. Notice how this knee is moving forward, that's great, right? We don't wanna just move around that hip joint. All the way forward, all the way up, all the way down. Now, what we can do is restrict the knee, okay? So what you can do is once you restrict that knee, or you can move the knee side to side once you're in this position. I feel that on my adductor, right? The muscle on the inside of my groin. Just gently moving it through that range of motion can help warm it up in a way that maybe I couldn't if I were in that stretch. So for the next exercise, we're gonna do a glute bridge with reach over, okay? So what you're gonna do, you're gonna get into a crab position or whatever you'd like to call it. You're going to put your hands behind your back. You're gonna do a glute bridge, press up. Move on to one hand. You're gonna put this thumb towards your face, palm towards the wall. You're gonna do a glute extension, make a bridge, and reach back, okay? So bring that all the way down. Reach up as you press over, or should I say reach over as you press up, okay? And you guessed it, if I did 3 on that side, 4 on that side, I'm gonna do 4 on this side. So just so you have the same angle, my right hand's now facing that wall. Press up and reach back, okay? You may feel some pops, that's okay. What you want to be aware of is if there's pops and sudden sharp pain, that's when it is not okay. All right, so finally, after you evenly warm up on both sides, you're gonna go into lateral lunges, okay? So once you're standing upright, you're gonna go ahead, wide stance. You're just gonna go lunge, also known as Cossack squats. You're gonna lunge into one side. Nice big stretch in the adductor. Try to keep your chest upright, okay? Then off to the other side. Now you don't need to go super far down, but one thing you can do is test the depth, right? So let's say I feel like I can go deeper, but I feel a little bit wary of maybe falling over or hurting myself. I can reach and grab onto something and support it as I drop into that squat, right? And maybe I go, oh, okay, well, now I know I can do that deep of a squat on that side. I can go a little bit deeper on this side and don't have to worry about holding on to something, right? Okay, so again, 6 on one side, 6 on the other, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. Keep it even, have fun, warm up for 10 or 15 minutes, play this video again if you forgot anything. The exercise will be on the email, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me, joelbaker@philadelphiacc.net. Have fun out there and enjoy the greens.